this project, I started with a 22 by 11 inch frame that I had picked up at a garage sale. I cleaned it up, took the glass out, painted the frame front and back blue. After it had dried, I flipped it over and I took ELMER'S glue and I put it around the back of the perimeter of the frame where the glass would sit. And then I replaced the glass. And then I took the ELMER'S glue again and I went around the perimeter of the back of the frame one more time. And this serves two purposes. It holds the glass in place and it helps to prevent any resin leaks once you put resin on it. So next I started cutting stained glass. The stained glass I cut in the shape to simulate seagrass. I actually picked out 3 different color blues and a white that I thought would go really well with the color frame. Now I'm not an expert stained glass cutter, but I can cut simple shapes. It doesn't always turn out exactly how I want it, and sometimes it breaks off shorter than I really want it to be, but I did learn how to do this on YouTube. So if you're wanting to learn how to cut stained glass, YouTube is an excellent source and it's free. And really, they'll teach you everything that you need to know. The other thing you need to know is stained glass is very sharp, so you have to be careful. And I have tumbled stained glass in the past in my tumbler, and it's turned out really nice, but these pieces are so long, I'm afraid that they would all break. I've done some long pieces, but probably not this long. And next, after I was done cutting all the pieces out, I took it out to the garage and I used my sander, my glass sander, to smooth out some of the edges on it to make it look a little bit better. Next, I dumped out my blue glass. This is glass that I pick up at garage sales and thrift stores and break up and tumble it in my tumbler. And I was looking for fish. I wanted to make sea glass fish. And this is also a bracelet that I picked up at a garage sale. And I thought the smaller black gems would be perfect for the fish's eyes. So at this point, I had everything ready for the project and I started laying it out. I put the seagrass down at the bottom first, and I'm just wiping it off with an alcohol wipe because when you cut stained glass, you have to use an oil, and oil gets on the stained glass, and I just didn't want it to mess up the resin. So I went ahead and wiped it off and dried it with a paper towel and moved them all up, and I took some crushed shells and put that at the bottom, and I took several starfish and put those on, and then here's my tumbled blue glass to make up the fish and the pieces of the bracelet for the eyes. And I did end up adding a few more shells and starfish, and then I covered the whole thing up because I didn't want any cat hair or dust to get into it until I was ready to resin it. I had sent away for some beads for bubbles to put on there, and I wasn't going to be getting them until 2 days later. Next, I was ready for the resin. After I mixed it up, I started drizzling it over the shells first, the crushed shells, and then around the perimeter. You really have to work it into the corners and around the sides and make sure it gets in between everything. You could have also just covered everything with the resin and then put the glass pieces on top of it. You can do it, many different ways, just depending. And I kind of like to put the resin on top of the glass to make it shiny. It's just my preference. You don't have to do it that way. So I took the starfish off just so that it would be easier to spread around. And after I had it all spread around, I used the little kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles, put the starfish back on. And you really have to look at it at all levels and from all sides to make sure that there's no no more bubbles or little things of dust or cat hair in it. And the bubbles that I had sent away for were just too tiny, so I ended up using these beads, 3 different size beads to simulate the bubbles for the fish, and I think those turned out cute anyway. And I was pretty much done with it. It has to sit on a level flat surface overnight. It takes 24 hours to completely cure. And it needs to be at temperatures between 72 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's also in your best interest to put a dust cover over it when you're done to prevent any sediment from getting in it. Hey everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So this originally was supposed to be for a friend of my daughter's, and we were looking for something for a narrow wall that was less than a foot, and she ended up liking the blue heron, the video I put out a couple weeks ago, and I think that matched her blue for her patio better, because this was I don't know, this is too bright of a blue, I think. Blues are real funny to match. I don't know if anyone has blues in their house, but you know, you can't just match any color blue. It has to be a certain one. Like this here would not go in my house. I have a lot of blue in my house, but I don't think this would go with it. But anyway, so if you didn't have tumbled glass, you could always use stained glass for it if you wanted to cut out stained glass. Or you could, if that's what you have is tumbled glass, you could make this out of tumbled glass, just putting little pieces on top of each other to make the seagrass. There's all different ways that you could do this, but I don't know, I think it turned out pretty cute. And I was trying to find, I was online looking up iridescent bubbles to put for these, and I actually sent away for some, but they were like microscopic when I got them. I couldn't believe I ended up sending them back to Amazon. And the other ones that I could find, they kind of look like marbles. I think they were too big. So I ended up using these little blue beads, and I think they look pretty cute. I think that turned out okay like that. But I would have rather had like the clear iridescent ones. I'm gonna have to keep on searching for them. If anybody knows where you can get them, let me know. And in the varying sizes, because I like it when you put the bubbles in, they get smaller and smaller as they're going up. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel. And if you subscribe, you'll be notified of future videos. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.